Hey everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into XRP. Big up the CoinsKid crew. Thank you for your support across the channel, okay? Thank you for staying with me throughout all of this correction, this big nasty correction, okay? And I do think, you should never trade on emotion or anything like that, but I'm just looking at charts and I think that the low is very, very close. I think you're overextended on the weekly. Straight off the bat, you can see that you're really, really overextended from the EMAs. I do not like to see that in any direction, and I've taught you that. And at the minute, what we've got a little bit of confluence here that the correction is almost over. Is if you look at the chart on the bottom here, this is the Bitcoin chart on the bottom and this is the XRP chart on the top. Now for those of you who don't know how to do this, in the top right here you've got this little box, okay, and you click select layout and you can select different layouts, okay, various ones. To get the top and bottom obviously is this one, okay, and or you could have a side by side. So top and bottom, it's up to you what you want to do, but it's good to look at different charts and you can drop them into your pane here and have a look, okay. So basically at the minute what we're looking at Bitcoin is an indicator that indicates the cycle top and the cycle bottom, okay. You can see here got cycle top, cycle bottom, job done. You can see that was the bottom, then we came back up and we got the cycle top, and then we got the cycle bottom, and that was the bottom there as well. Absolute knob on. So the cycle bottom indicator is when two moving averages cross, and it's the light blue here and it's the dark blue there. So I'm going to show you what these moving averages are right now. So if you go to the Bitcoin super cycle, click on settings, you can see that the light blue line here is the 137-day moving average, and the dark blue, sorry, is the 2-year moving average, and you can drop them in out your charts by ticking them like that, okay. So you can see that whenever these cross, okay, whenever the light blue goes below the dark blue, that is always indicated a cycle bottom for Bitcoin, okay. And you can see that whenever the light red crosses a dark red, that always indicates a cycle top, okay, for Bitcoin. So I do think that we're almost completing this bottom right now. There's a bit of confluence here that, you've got this support line here, and we've got this ABC correction, which is a target of an ABC. Let me show you for those that don't know. So this is a trend-based fib extension tool from the high just there down to the A to the B. You can see that what we've done, we've bounced off the one fib just there. Now, does it mean that the correction's over? No, I am anticipating that if you do start to lose this support, you wick down onto the green line, which is a 1272, which is around about 23 cents. If we do get that nasty capitulation correction here and start to come down and these lines cross and print a cycle bottom, you can imagine how XRP falls out of this, wicks down, comes back up into the pattern and the apex here of this big huge horizontal which you're coiling up out. Now we did do this previously here before we did start to break out. We came up in this horizontal, we wicked down right before we broke out. So is it a case that we're sort of doing this again? Look, we're holding this trend line at this point. Everyone's getting really bullish as you're coming down. Yeah, we're bouncing off it and then you wick down below it basically. So is it a case that we're sort of mirroring the previous cycle there before we actually start to break out to the upside and go supersonic? I don't necessarily envision we're going to supersonic like that unless some kind of catalyst happens, but I do think we'll slowly start to come up and creep out of this level of suppression that we've been under, in this big large ABC correction and this low here on Bitcoin coming into play. So if you do start to see this cycle low here and it creates this signal for you, then not financial advice, but I think that's the bottom, and we're getting confirmation from that of this correction being over by this particular chart printing that, and XRP being right down here coming back to this low, because like I've said to you so many times in so many videos, I think that what you've got here is a cycle low of this bear market, an ABC correction in itself, which I'll show you again. You can use the trend based fib just here from there to there, and you bounced off the one fib. You never quite got to the 1272. So is it a bit of a bear trap? Are we all expecting this sort of dump and this cycle low to come in, and it doesn't, and it starts to come back up and we get a rejection off that? Who knows? But one thing I'm sure of is that the moving averages are lagging indicators, so there is a potential we sort of come down and come back up, and by the time this prints at the cycle bottom, it's lagged out basically. So for me, there's no guarantees obviously, but right here, if we do start to roll and we create this cycle low indicator here and we get this cross wherever XRP is at the time, it might be a good idea to load up. But again, nothing I say is financial advice. So I wish I could conclusively say to you that this is low. We're not going to go any lower here. We bounced off the one fib. We're going to start to accumulate and we're start to kind of come up. The low looks very close. It looks like it's potentially already in. If not, it's about to be put in for XRP. That's what I'm trying to stipulate here. Okay, so I'm keeping an eye on this chart as best as I can for you, the cycle low, because you can see there it's always indicating the low just there, boom, the cycle top as well. Historically we've had two times this has actually happened, and it's been the cycle low. Okay, so again, absolutely zero guarantees here. Okay, there's no guarantees that if this comes down, prints a cycle low, that it can't just keep going from there. You know, there's absolute zero guarantees of anything. It's all about support and resistance. And right now, you know, I do think you've found support in this trend line, which is fantastic. But if you want to have one last little shakeout here, the 1272 fib would be my sort of capitulation target. That's what I'm trying to say to you at 023325, sort of around that area if you do start to wick down. But you've wicked off the 1 fib, which you did do in this ABC correction. So there's a high probability here that your correction's in, basically. And one thing you could do is not actually print that cycle low signal, start to come up here and do this, you know, and you don't necessarily get that signal that a lot of people are waiting for, or that sort of capitulation down that a lot of people are waiting for as well. And we just accumulate on this level and then start to come back up. You know, like I said to you, there's no guarantees, is there? So, you know, you've got this support here, you've got this support here, you've got this support here. Equally, you've got this resistance. Each time you run into resistance, you come back for support. Resistance, come back for support, eventually holding the EMAs, and that's where you broke out. And I mean, it is a high confluence here, that is a strong level of resistance, because the breakout was so phenomenal here that it had to be, okay, because you're breaking a multi-year level of resistance in the trend lines just there. And you can see that once you ran into that resistance, where did you find support? On this trend line again. And when you came out, you made a lower high here, which is effectively the B leg of an ABC correction. You can see that you found resistance, and then you start to come back down and you put in your C leg. And where did you find support? Exactly on the crossroads of this previous resistance, now back to this internal support, and this level of support which you created since the corona dump in 2020. So there's a high confluence here that this could actually be your bottom right now, okay? And everyone's expecting more of this. And the fact that you've got your ABC 1 fib target met, as you did your ABC 1 fib target met as well in that correction there. Do you see that? So for me, there is a massive possibility, obviously, that the correction is in, but you know, there's absolutely zero guarantees. Now, one thing I would like to see here to confirm this is obviously some kind of powerful V-shaped recovery into the EMAs, a fallback to support. If you start to do something like this, you're going to create some kind of reversal pattern here, some kind of ascending triangle over the next few months, where again you get really close to the apex, where you break out with power, pretty much like you did in this previous correction down here, or this sideways accumulation where you went sideways and then eventually broke out. Once you break this resistance, look at the power. Okay, now there's absolutely zero guarantees here, okay, on the channel. I've always taught you that. Nothing I say is financial advice, but you know, something's brewing, isn't it? You know, and I think that the correction's nearing, and you've got the confluence here that Bitcoin as well is really close to this cycle bottom. Now, there's no guarantees that it's actually going to print it. Do you understand that? You know, so watch this space. I wish everyone the most luck here for XRP, but at the minute you've met the ABC target, you've met the trend lines, you've got this trend line as well. You know, this could be the crossroads, this could be the correction over. But if we do get one last capitulation, then that is my target, your 1272 fib right there, you know, and 100% going to print that cycle low down there as well for Bitcoin, which would indicate the bottom. So that's basically XRP. But you know, I think I went through this with you yesterday. If this is the bottom right here and we bounce off the 1 fib, then you're looking, you know, up there at $6 plus 589 or something, isn't it? And then you've got as well, if you do come down to the 1272 fib, you've got another impulsive move up to around about 759, that sort of area as well. So we'll target this going forward, okay? Good luck, everyone. Take care. Maximum update on XRP. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Bye-bye.